Alex Eala to Filipinos in Doha, you all inspire me every day. Filipinos in Doha still showed unwavering support for Alex Eala on Monday, despite her early exit from the WTA 1000 Qatar Open. Eala fell to Teresa Valentova of the Czech Republic, 6-7, 1-6, in their first-round match at the Khalifa International Tennis and Squash Complex, where a big crowd of Filipinos again showed up to watch the rising star. Despite the defeat, the 20-year-old took time to sign autographs on court before exiting, acknowledging the crowd that stayed behind to cheer her on. The support did not end inside center court. After the match, a group of Filipino fans waited outside the stadium hoping for a chance to take photos and personally greet Eala. Eala later shared a video of the fans waiting for her on her Instagram story, expressing her gratitude for their continued presence. "Immensely grateful for the people who continuously show up for me and the sport," she wrote. "You all inspire me every day. Talo noyon pero chuloy pa rin laban," she added. "Bawi teo sa susunod." Now ranked 40th in the world by the WTA, Eala is set to compete next week in Dubai in another WTA 1000 tournament. When tennis star Alex Eala stood before a group of cheering Filipinos in Doha and said, "You all inspire me every day," she wasn't merely expressing gratitude. She was highlighting a powerful cycle, a young athlete inspired by a people, and in return becoming their inspiration. This exchange of spirit captures something much greater than a match result. The scene was simple yet profound. Filipinos living in Doha, Qatar, a community of overseas workers, families, and supporters thousands of miles from home, gathered to cheer on their compatriot as she competed in the WTA 1000 Qatar Open. Even though Alex's run in the tourney ended earlier than hoped, their unwavering support remained undiminished, so much so that she paused to honor them with heartfelt words. Globe showing Europe-Africa the meaning of inspire me every day. When Alex said, "You all inspire me every day," it carried layered meaning. 1. Inspiration through support. For Filipinos abroad, especially in places like Doha where community life can be challenging and distant from home comforts, rallying around a Filipino athlete is more than fandom. It's a shared expression of identity and pride. Her acknowledgement didn't just thank them. It validated their presence, their struggles, and their joy. 2. A champion with a champion's heart. Alex's message shows that true champions don't just win points, they embrace people. Even after a tough loss, her focus wasn't on disappointment but on the encouragement she felt from her supporters. That gratitude reveals her character, someone shaped by humility, resilience, and deep connection to her heritage. 3. A shared journey. Filipinos see in Alex's journey, the ups and downs, the breakthroughs and the setbacks, a reflection of their own lives. Many are far from their homeland, facing long work hours, family sacrifices, and the constant balancing act of building a future while nurturing roots back home. Alex's words bridge those experiences with hers. Inspiration is not one way, it's shared. Gold military medal, a snapshot of Alex Eala's journey. To truly appreciate what her message means, we must understand the path that got her standing in Doha. Glowing star rising through the ranks. At just 20 years old, Alex has already shattered records and redefined Filipino tennis. She broke into the WTA Top 40, the highest ranking ever achieved by a Filipino player, just as she prepared for the Qatar Open. Trophy historic moments. Her career is studded with historic milestones. First Filipino woman to win a main draw match at a Grand Slam, US Open, through a stunning comeback. First Filipino to reach a WTA Tour final. Bronze medals in the Asian Games, ending a long tennis medal drought for the Philippines. Each result was not just a point on the scoreboard. It was a moment of national pride, inspiring countless young Filipinos to imagine their own dreams beyond traditional expectations. Filipino, the Filipino spirit, resilience and dreaming big. Filipinos around the world, whether athletes, overseas workers, artists, students, or everyday families, share a resilient spirit, hopeful, hardworking, supportive, and deeply connected to community. Alex embodies that spirit on a global stage. Her words in Doha weren't just a thank you. They were a celebration of every Filipino who has ever. Heavy checkmark has said, "I'll make my family proud." Heavy checkmark has worked long hours away from home. Heavy checkmark has cheered a fellow Filipino from the stands, from across a stadium, or over a screen. Heavy checkmark has dared to dream that someone from their small corner of the world could shine globally. When Alex said, "You all inspire me every day," She was honoring that shared journey of courage and hope. Globe with Meridians Beyond Doha, a global Filipino movement. This moment also reminds us of a broader truth. Filipino excellence is global, and it transcends borders. In Doha, in Qatar, in the United Arab Emirates, in Europe, in the Americas, wherever Filipinos gather, there's a cultural momentum rooted in pride and perseverance. Alex's story resonates because it reflects their collective journey. To stand up after setbacks, to represent with dignity, to connect even while apart. And in return, Filipinos around the world continue to cheer not just for Alex, but for each other, reinforcing that when one succeeds, all are lifted. Gold sports medal. What the Doha moment teaches us. Here are some of the deeper lessons in that simple line. You all inspire me every day. Speech balloon. Inspiration is mutual. Support and success are not one-way streets. Alex's gratitude shows that encouragement from a community fuels athletes, and athletes' victories invigorate their supporters. Flex biceps. Resilience defines achievement. Losses happen. Tournaments end. But inspiration persists when people choose to connect with purpose and heart. Glowing star. Identity matters. Alex reminds us that cultural roots, the language, the values, the community, endure on the world stage. They give strength, depth, and meaning to individual achievements. Globe showing Europe, Africa, belonging outweighs boundaries. Filipinos in Doha and everywhere feel connected to something larger than geography. They belong to a shared history of courage and pride, and that belonging gives life to their dreams. Sparkles. A closing reflection. In Doha, in the stands and in the hearts of Filipinos thousands of miles from home, a young tennis star found not just applause, but connection. She found, in a community that had gathered to support her, the very spirit that fuels her ambitions and reminds her of what truly matters. Alex Eala's journey is not just about tennis points or rankings. It is a tapestry of stories, sacrifices, dreams, and collective pride. Her words, "You all inspire me every day," are not merely spoken. They are lived, breathed, and reciprocated by every Filipino who sees in her a reflection of their own aspirations. And that is the power of her message. That inspiration moves both ways, from athlete to fan, from dreamer to believer, and from a Filipino in Doha to millions of Filipinos around the world.